जूते हो तो बाटा और कंपनी हो तो टाटा. You've probably heard about this and we're going to talk about the Tata Group. But before getting into all of that, let's just analyze the returns that Tata has given over the last few years. I'll first start with 2007 to 2017. We can see that the Tata Group underperformed Nifty by 2%, which means Nifty actually did better. Then let's go to 2014 to 2017. You'll see that it underperformed Nifty by 7%. So basically, my point is from 2007 to 17, Tata Group underperformed Nifty and was kind of getting worse. But post 2017, the Tata Group outperformed Nifty by 9 whole percentage points. This is a lot because it compounds over a period of time. And you can see that in the last 1 year, I know the stock market has rallied in 2021, but Tata Group has given a return of 180% versus Nifty's 44%. So, what happened after 2017? Something definitely changed. In 2017, a first non-Tata person, N. Chandrasekaran, was elected as chairman, where they went from a family-run business to a professional-run business, where a person who was not for the family was actually hired to run the entire group. So, first we'll understand the drawbacks that happened before 2017 and then what changed after that. And we have the entire research team at LearnApp which actually figured this out, wrote the content, and Siddharth will be explaining this research. So, in the comments below, give it up for LearnApp team, give them some encouraging words so we can produce more content. Let's get started.
Now, as Pratik sir mentioned, Tata Group companies experienced various new steps that were taken by Mr. N. Chandrasekaran. However, you first need to understand what were the problems that were existing in various Tata Group companies. So I will just give you a brief of 5 such problems. Now, problem number 1 is over-dependence on TCS. Now, TCS contributed almost 60% of free cash flow, 62% of the group's market cap, and 108% of the group's PAT. Can you believe it? 108%. This means that TCS on a standalone basis was generating higher profit when compared to remaining companies on a group level. Like this just shows how ineffective the management of other companies were. Problem number 2, high group debt. As I can see here, until 2017, the total debt of the Tata Group listed companies was approx 2,51,000 crores. Problem number 3, the ROE of the group was very weak. Now, just to give you a perspective on that, more than 80% of the Tata Group companies generated an ROE of below 10%. That's clearly the destruction of shareholders' wealth. Problem number 4, complex holding structure. Now, just to give you an idea of this point, first let's look at the holding structure of the Adani Group. You see that it's like pretty systematic and it's pretty clear. Now, just have a look at the holding structure of the Tata Group before 2017. Now, this type of ownership pattern is basically referred to as the cross ownership pattern. Now, usually this cross ownership pattern results in delay in decision making. Problem number 5, very large and frequent acquisitions. Now, there are examples when the companies have grown exponentially after they undertook a major acquisition or a merger. But acquisition or a merger is usually considered good when they are done at a reasonable price. Now, just to give you an idea, in the period between 2000 to 2016, Tata Group undertook 15 major acquisitions that resulted in an outflow of $20 billion. And some of the major acquisition comprises of Chorus Group acquisition by Tata Steel. So we just saw various 5 problems that were existing on the Tata Group level. Now we'll have a look how Mr. N. Chandrasekaran addressed these 5 problems in a much systematic manner in various Tata Group companies. So the first company in our bucket list is Tata Consumer Products. Now, do you know this company has moved the most when compared to its 2017 price? Now, I want to discuss a very interesting case of Tata FMCG business before 2017. Now, Tata FMCG business was operating under 2 brands, one under Tata Global Beverages and another under Tata Chemicals. I just wonder why a chemical company was also operating an FMCG brand. Another issue with the business was that although company was an Indian FMCG company, more than 55% of the revenue came from the international operations. Also, you expect the FMCG company to have diversified product lines. But do you know 88% of the total portfolio comprised of only tea products? But then, thanks to Mr. N. Chandrasekharan, he identified that these problems existed in the FMCG business, and then he immediately called off for a merger between the food business and the Tata Global Beverages, and thus the Tata Consumer Products was established. So let's just see what was the impact of this decision that was taken by Mr. N. Chandrasekharan. So as I can see here, just after the merger, the company became a 9,500 crore company, registering a growth of 25%. Another impact was seen in the form of diversified product ranges. It means Tata's FMCG business was no longer dependent on just the tea. Also, the share from international operations was reduced from a major 55% to just 34%, and thus Tata Consumer Products now truly seems like an Indian FMCG business. Now, the second company in our bucket list is Tata Teleservices. Now, this stock has been the favorite of various market participants, especially in the recent past, because this stock has shown an upward price movement of 483% when compared to its 2017 price. If you remember, Tata Teleservices was that company under which Tata Docomo brand was operating. However, in 2012, as I can see here, Tata Teleservices took a hit after three of its licenses got cancelled by Supreme Court due to some irregularities in the spectrum allocation. Also, later on, the company got into some legal complication with its partner group Docomo. Now, this all has resulted in a financial liability of 50,000 crore plus on Tata Teleservices. Now, since Mr. N. Chandrasekharan joined Tata Sons on board, he took various steps to pull out the company from financial crisis. Let's have a look at some of them. Number one being, Tata Sons settled the dispute with Docomo by purchasing its stake in Tata Teleservices for $1.27 billion. Number second being, Tata Teleservices sold its mobile consumer business to Bharti Airtel. This also resulted in shifting of 2,000 crore spectrum penalty to Bharti Airtel. Number three being, and I found it really very interesting, that the company will be completely revamped as Tata Tele Business Services and will cater to the needs of digitization for the small and medium enterprises. Also, interestingly, the company will also be offering services to the 5G operators. After sharing with you all this, I just remember Mr. Utpal Sheth talking about same management points in one of his course he taught on LearnUp, that is Learn the Art of Investing. I would request you guys to watch that course. Link to the site is in the description below. So the next company we'll talk about is Tata Steel. Now, the problem with Tata Steel before 2017 was that it had a major debt of 83,000 crore, leading to a debt to equity ratio of 2.2x. Now, Mr. N. Chandrasekharan was damn smart. He clearly said after joining the board of Tata Sons that the Tata Steel has to pay its own debt. Another problem that Tata Steel was experiencing was with its European business. Now, we know that Chorus Steel, since acquisition, has been a strain on the balance sheet. Now, since Mr. N. Chandrasekharan joined on board of Tata Sons, he took various steps to improve the financial performance of Tata Steel. Some of them being, the company is continuously focusing in reducing its debt, and we can see that the debt to equity ratio has been continuously falling since 2017. Point number two being, the Euro business continues to be a pain for Tata Steel. The management is continuously looking for the sale of its European business. The last company in our bucket list is Tata Motors. Now, interestingly, the Tata Motors passenger vehicle segment share is continuously decreasing. Have a look at this chart. The market share slid from a high of 13.7% in 2010 to just 4.8% in 2020. The main reason for this was lack of new product launches during this period of time. Another problem that Tata Motors was experiencing was that since the acquisition of JLR business, the JLR business was the major contributor to the firm's total revenue. Now, this was not a problem. However, factors such as Brexit, from where they imported various raw materials, and some environmental laws in China was posing a major challenges in front of JLR businesses. And also recently, we saw some news regarding the shortage of chips worldwide, because of which the JLR business will get affected. These all factors have resulted in a decreased contribution of JLR business to consolidated profits of the group. Now, some of the solutions that were undertaken by him were Tata Motors became extremely aggressive in launching new products. Now, some of the recent launches were Nexon, Harrier, Tata Eltros. These all new launches resulted in an increased market share of Tata Motors since 2017. The second solution they have proposed is to make JLR business completely electrical by 2025, and this strategy they have renamed as Reimagine. Another solution that was proposed in the 2020 AGM was to make Tata Motors completely debt-free in the next 3 years. This means that the company will pay back its debt of 1,42,000 crore in the next 3 years. Now, as Prateek sir always used to say, lower debt to equity ratio is always a driver of growth for the company. So we are done with the analysis of our 4 companies. But do remember, this was not an in-depth analysis. We just tried to analyze the impact of decisions taken by new management on some of these companies. To learn how to analyze your own companies from scratch, do check out learnup.com. The first lesson for each and every course is free, and the link is in the description below. Also, we are trying very hard to grow our YouTube channel, so I would request you all to like, share and subscribe our channel. And if you have any suggestions, do put it in the comment section below. See you in the next video.